Hello, welcome to the channel. Oh, see when you open the door, it just breathes. I've got it turned down. Hello, welcome to the channel. This is a quick video about the 20 miles per hour speed limits. Falkirk. Oh, it's about 20 miles per hour speed limits. Just a quick look. So basically, the papers are parroting the Falkirk Council. So I'm going to read this out and we'll go and have a look at the councillor involved. Falkirk Village gets 20 miles per hour speed limits in pilot to tackle dangerous traffic. Earth will lead the way in a pilot that aims to reduce the speed of cars and lorries passing through the village. By Kirsty Patterson, local democracy reporter. I'll try not to get abusive with this and try and keep it professional. So if I start getting abusive, I'll smack myself in the head. Right, Earth will be a pilot to see how 20 miles per hour limits will introduce in more urban areas. A 20 miles per hour speed limit is set to be set up in the village of Earth as part of a pilot scheme agreed by Falkirk councillors today, Tuesday. This is the 15th. No, what is it? When is this? 5th of March. 5th of March. Right. The 18-month pilot scheme will allow Falkirk Council, I'm quoting the Daily Record by the way, to collect and analyse information on vehicle speeds before and after the introduction of the speed limit change and monitor the impact it is making. The road through the village is used by HGVs, among other traffic and local councillors have long campaigned for action to slow traffic down. Read more. Falkirk Council allowed to keep 4.5 million flooding cash. From early April this year, the council will start to collect data on the general speed of traffic at the moment. Later in the month, 20 miles per hour signs will be put up across Earth, with further speed surveys a couple of weeks later. The pilot will help traffic officers understand if signage on its own is enough to significantly reduce speeds or further work would be needed. The decision to look at introducing 20 miles per hour to appropriate streets across Falkirk district was made by councillors in 2022, but then delayed while the Scottish Government developed national guidance. While the government did consider making all urban roads 20 miles per hour by default, it eventually chose to support local authorities to expand 20 miles per hour speed limits on their road network where they felt them to be appropriate. Now, I'll just quickly add, that is because they couldn't enforce it, because they couldn't get planning consent. A consultation carried out in February with Earth residents showed strong support for a 20 miles per hour speed limit. 70.9% strongly or partially supported a 20 miles per hour speed limit in built-up residential areas. 90% strongly or tended to agree that speed limits should be implemented where safety is an issue. 70.9 is weird. I would be in disbelief in that. It's too vague anyway, strongly or partially. 90% safety is an issue. I mean, what do you mean by that, you know? So it's all a bit tricky. Introducing the proposal, SNP councillor Paul Garner said it will help make these roads safer for all road users. He says evidence shows that if you hit a pedestrian at 30 miles per hour, they are 7 times more likely to die than at 20 miles per hour. Let me just repeat that. 7 times more likely not to survive. Where are you getting this information from, Mr. Garner? Did you make it up yourself? Did you find it somewhere? Do you imagine it? Do you believe it? Is it your feelings? You know, have you got any other, have you done multivariate analysis on this? Anyway, so he's repeating himself. He added, it is hoped the change will also improve perception of road safety, encouraging people to walk, wheel and cycle more, thereby improving health, promoting active travel and creating more pleasant areas in which to live. Right, let's not get into that. I mean, they're destroying city and town centres is what you're doing. And people who need to drive will have to drive, and they will drive, and it doesn't matter what you think, they are going to carry on driving. So that's very dubious. You know, I mean, I do my fair share of walking. I drive when I have to drive. And that's what I do, you know. It's for reasons for it. It's because walking is unsuitable or cycling is unsuitable. That's a reality of it. It depends what you're doing, what you are actually doing. You know, are you collecting stuff? Are you dropping people off? Are you visiting places? Do you need your car for the boot to carry stuff? You know, obviously that's why cycling encourages. Look, okay, calm down a bit. You're just reading what this is being said here, right? Using information from the pilot scheme, the scheme could then roll out quickly to a further 16 areas: Allendale, Avonbridge, Blackness, California, Dunmore. Dunmore? Well, maybe Dunmore. Nobody goes into Dunmore. Fankerton, Glen Village, Limerick, Muirhouses, Shield Hill, Skinflats, South Alloa, Standburn, Stonywood, Torwood and Whitecross. Councillor Garner stresses that all these village residents will be consulted before any work begins to implement the speed reduction. Well, you haven't done it there, have you? Because that's fake. That's false information. You haven't done an adequate consultation. It's an inadequate consultation. It must be, because there's no way 70.9% of people want this. He highlighted, this is Garner, he highlighted that 20 miles per hour zones had already been successful in reducing speed for Highland Council on the Scottish borders. Yeah, I've seen that down there, it's hopeless. They put 20 miles per hour zones on trunk roads, A roads, and it's totally ridiculous. Nobody cares and nobody observes them because they're stupid, right? And they don't make any sense. You try to get people to do 20 miles per hour on a trunk road, an A road. While the pilot work is underway, Falkirk Council will continue to review other urban streets in the area and decide if a 20 miles per hour limit would make them safer. While opposition councillors were supportive, the Labour group leader, Councillor Anne Hanna, did question the lack of funding available from the Scottish Government. So, you know, we've got plenty of money for this, eh? Let's have a look at this. Garner. What's his name again? Falkirk Council. Paul Garner. Right, Paul Garner. There we are. There's Paul Garner. Falkirk Council. Councillor Paul Garner. Elected 6th of May 2022. We've got to prop this guy till 2027. You know, I don't know who voted for him, but, you know, you're going to pay for it. You know, anyway. So his surgeries. Now, this is an interesting thing. There are no events available. So there's no surgery. So I can't go and ask him where he got the information that he thinks 7 times safer, or 7 times more likely to die in an accident, I think what it's meaning. And the 70.9% of people on the earth want this. This is what I would be focusing on, because these two figures are very dubious. So I think this man here is not being honest. Well, he's a politician, right? But he's a councillor, so he should be held legally liable, I believe. I think we should get them where it hurts when they start messing about with our rights. But anyway, so there are no events available, so there's no surgeries. So there's where you contact him. Paul Garner, 01324 506 282. Mobile 07515 331 934. paul.garner@falkirk.gov.uk. His interests: I am employed as a base engineer by British Telecom. Other roles: chairman of Dunnerpace Football Club. Contracts: nothing to declare. Election expenses: nothing to declare. Houses, land and buildings: I am owner of a property in Ward 3, Denny and Banknock. Interest in shares and securities: nothing to declare. I find this a bit weird. He's got no shares, this guy. What sort of a numpty is he? He doesn't have any shares or securities. Gifts and hospitality: nothing to declare. Non-financial interest: nothing to declare. Close family members: nothing to declare. Memberships: so he's on committees. Appointments, right? So recommends to council appointment chief executive, chief officer and heads of service. Larbert. Meeting scheduled. Town Hall, Falkirk. Yeah, well, that's where we could get him. He's got to go to these meetings. Oh no, that's where he's been. Sorry, that was a dumb moment. So he's been 15th of February 2024. So that's over. These are all meetings that are over. Outside bodies, community, well, try to memberships. I should maybe do Sestran, South East Scotland Transport Partnership, Policy Development Panel, Sport and Leisure, Scottish Enterprise East Regional Advisory Board, COSLA Environment Economy Board, COSLA Convention of Local Authorities, Falkirk Council, Executive, Education, Children and Young People, Executive, I wouldn't want him near my children. Appointments. What we've got. So that's the memberships. We're on the memberships. Denny and Bank Knock. Well, let's have a look at this one. So, meeting schedule. South East Scotland Transport Partnership members. Scottish Enterprise East London McPherson. COSLA Environment and Economy Board. Convention of Local Authorities. Falkirk Council. Right, so that's the guy there. That's him. I'd like to meet him and ask him where he got these figures from. The problem is I don't actually live in Falkirk Council, so I'm not sure if you're allowed to, if you're able to, because I've contacted my own councillors about this issue. But the Stirling's had 20 miles per hour limits. Zones. Call them zones, they're not limits, because they couldn't get planning permission for them. So it's right, so I'll try and keep it civil. I would like to ask him, that's what I would actually like to ask him, is where he got that information from. Evidence shows that if you hit a pedestrian at 30 miles per hour, 7 times more likely to die than at 20 miles per hour. Introducing the proposal said it will make these roads safer for all roads. Well, there's data to say the contrary. I noticed he hasn't mentioned pollution. 70.9% strongly are partially supported in built up residential areas. Right, okay. So, this is a trickery here. A consultation carried out in February with Ayrth residents this is very misleading, showed strong support for a 20 miles per hour speed limit. And then it goes on to say 70.9% strongly or partially supported a 20 miles per hour speed limit in built up residential areas. So that's slightly misleading. It makes you think at first that we're talking about Ayrth. It also says 90% strongly or tended to agree that speed limits should be implemented where safety is an issue. So that's like one area is Falkirk, and that two pieces of information, I don't know what they're, they could mean in the whole of Great Britain or Scotland, Europe, Western civilization. That could mean anything. So I don't know where that came from. I think that's very misleading. So this is the Daily Record, but it's also the same in the Falkirk Herald. So they're just, this is pretty poor journalism, isn't it? Kirsty Patterson. It's not really journalism, is it? It's just, I could do this, just repeat what you're told, Kirsty Patterson, Local Democracy Reporter for Falkirk, stories related to Falkirk Council, Falkirk Health and Social Care Partnership, Forth Valley, NHS. they just... There's a lot of banging noise going on outside. I have to go and find out where it is. Right, so that's it. It'd be great if you could email. Oh, there's Kirsty Patterson there. Yeah. Right. I think there seems to be a standard. This is Kirsty Patterson's piece here, but the one in Falkirk Herald is exactly the same. Falkirk Village. So it's not really. It's not exactly stunning journalism, is it? It's almost like getting told something and repeating it. So there's Daily Record. So Falkirk Council got their bit. That's from Falkirk Council. I mean, basically, pretty much looks like the same article, doesn't it? So that's where that information's coming from. It's coming from Falkirk Council. Malcolm Benny, Director of Place Services, representing the Earth. So Malcolm Benny would be one to look at. Director of Place. Malcolm Benny, right, well, I need to do the old control C. Malcolm Benny, Director of Place Services. Jeez, it's in Arabic. You're joking. What the hell's happened here? It's in Arabic. Oh God, yeah. Aye, is that him there? Yeah, well, mate, no much wonder when you keep wasting money on crap like stupid speed limits. It's like painting the Forth Railway Bridge. Malcolm Benny. Why is that coming up in Arabic? Is there something wrong with my computer or something? Scottish Renewables. Oh, I see. You're in the gravy train. Scottish Renewables. Fleecing the people. Stealing the people's energy and then charging them 3 times for it. Yeah. Malcolm Benny. Ceridian UK Limited. This is hardly brilliant journalism either. Remember, I did do a media course at Stirling University. Right, so thanks for watching. Please email these lot and ask them what the hell they're doing. Although I don't think MD ever will. They didn't do with the log burner thing and the gas boiler problem. If they come along, take your gas boilers away. Don't blame me, because I've warned you. Thanks for watching. Bye.